Ear, what up with you? Mm-hmm. In the house. We doing it on a Saturday evening. What's going on, guys? How y'all doing tonight? I just did this. What's up, Vic? I just did this. There's a trend going on TikTok. You know, when playmaking, Jordan, mid range, James, and there's this trend going on where they match up players, right? And in the process of matching up these players, you know, you got to pick who's the better one. And what it can do is, if you've already, what you could do is you could trip yourself up if you've already married yourself to one theory, because essentially what all they're doing is asking you the same question, just asking it in a different way. So when you ask me if James is better than Jordan, and I say yes, well, then you ask me who's the better mid-range shooter. After I tell you all of that, and then you ask me, well, who's the better defender? Who's the better this? Who's the better that? Excuse me. If you're not firm in your argument, you're going to get yourself tripped up. And I do my best to stick to my guns, right? I do everything that I can to stick to my guns. And the reason why I do that is because the goal here is to stay consistent. So if I say something, right, I have to be consistent with it. If I say that I think that James is better than Bryant, I think that James is better than Jordan, I got to be consistent with that. And whatever my logic is and whatever my argument is, I got to come with facts. Like, you hear a lot of people talk about how, this is all opinion based. But when somebody challenges my opinion, right? When somebody challenges my opinion, they have to come with facts to substantiate it. It can't just be, you're wrong. That doesn't work with me. That's why whenever I challenge someone's opinion on something, I come back with facts. It's not, you're ridiculous or you're wrong. No, this is why I'm challenging your opinion, because this is not just what I think. This is what I have to back it up with. So when I say these things, it's not just to say, or it's not just quote unquote hating, which I hate to hear. I actually hate hearing that. I hate hearing when people tell me that I hate Kobe Bryant. I'm ready to strangle somebody whenever I hear that I hate Kobe Bryant, because Kobe Bryant wasn't good. Kobe Bryant wasn't great. This guy was an amazing man. He wasn't good. He wasn't great. This guy was incredible. But he wasn't better than James. He wasn't better than Jordan. He wasn't better than Jabbar. He wasn't better than Bill Russell. He wasn't better than Chamberlain. And these are and when I say that, I bring why I don't think he was better than these guys. It's not because hating on the guy. No, absolutely not. That's not it at all. And the reason why I get that I'm hating logic is because a lot of these people, number one, are Laker fans, which make them Kobe fans. Add that to the fact that he ain't around no more, which means that their emotions are even heightened. Their emotions are heightened even more. So, and the reason why their emotions are heightened more is because they want you to not forget about this guy. They want to make sure that not only do you remember him, you don't forget about him now, you don't forget about him in a year, which in reality, there's no way that in 10 years we ain't talking about Kobe Bryant. There's no way in 20 years we ain't talking about Kobe Bryant. Ain't no way. There's no way we not talking about this dude. So That's all I got with that. That's my initial rant. And that's all I got with that. I don't see why the Dodgers, they already been in the World Series twice. They're going to make it a trifecta. I do think Bama bound. I'm not really a big college football fan, my man. I wish I could say I was, but I'm not. I'm not a big college football fan. And the reason why I'm not is because I don't like the system of college football. I don't like the way it's put together. You know, these guys think that the SEC created football, and the idea that your strength of schedule matters, that burns me. I have a very difficult time with that. I have a very difficult time with that. Abdullah, what's up, brother? Good to see you, my man. I don't know what time it is where you at, but it's probably late if you say you're going to bed. Dame's not going anywhere, so you see. Why do you keep saying that? Dame is not on the market, and he's not going anywhere. Today's rant is brought to you by Sleep Mattress or something like that. What's up, Wee? How you doing, brother? One on. What's up, brother? How you doing? Good to see you. To be honest with you, I don't know who's winning the NBA championship this year. I just don't. I'd be lying to you if I said I did, because I don't. Cam, my man. Good evening, sir. How are you? No, Eli, I don't think the Mets will bounce back next year because they always trick me. They'll start the season where we 15, 20 games over 500. Then Jake will screw his elbow up, or Lonzo will stop hitting, and then we'll just go in the tank. Don't get me started on the Mets. Hey, Jillian, how are you? I do think the Lakers will figure it out. I do. I don't have Derrick Rose in the greatest point guards of all time. I do not. He's not in the greatest point guards of all time conversation with me. No, sir. Sports, I'm sorry. I don't really know much about soccer. After my daughter stopped playing, I wasn't really bothering too much with it. My daughter stopped playing, and she went to college, and she stopped playing. And I don't really know much about it since then, because I didn't know much about it before then. And she started playing soccer. She was 12, and I don't know anything about soccer, so I'm starting to watch. This is in 2010. I'm sorry. She's like, she's like 12. No, she's 15 in 2010. I'm sorry, but I got to start. I started watching the World Cup because I'm thinking to myself, you know, I need to learn this because I don't want to be that dumbass parent coming to games and I don't know what the hell is going on. You know, everybody had this idea that, you know, just because you're an athlete, you know about all sports. No, I don't. I don't know anything. I didn't know anything about soccer. So I thought that Nugget series was awesome. I thought going 7 and for the Portland to go in there and beat them in game 7, thought that was incredible. Absolutely. Let's see. I'm going to get to the rest of you guys in a minute. Jillian, let me tell you something. If that is what I think it is, if that mid-range, I ain't even on the 3 ball. I won't even get on the long ball. If that mid-range, that 15 to 18 foot jump shot that I seen him pulling up, if he has that in his game now, you dudes in the NBA can forget it. He will be what is now labeled as eating production. Well, what do you mean, OG, about eating production? Lajuan, James, Jordan, Bird, Bryant, KD. We just got to eat whatever it is that he bringing, because it's not going to make a difference. We can't do nothing to stop this dude. We can't do anything. So pencil him in for 33, 14, and 2 blocks because we just going to have to eat it because we can't do nothing to stop him. Because now what you've done is now that big man who is sagging off, now he has to come out. He's got to come away from the basket. And if he doesn't, I'm going to make this 15 to 17 footer. I'm going to knock this down all night. And I'm going to get you subbed out the game because now you're a liability because you can't cover out here. And that's going to be a huge problem. I had Steph Curry to start. And I said this on the podcast last night. I had Steph Curry to start, leading the league in scoring. I wouldn't be surprised if Giannis led the league in scoring this year, especially with that jump shot. Man, stop playing. Please believe it. So that's not ridiculous, crazy. I don't think that's ridiculous to say that, but there's a lot of things that have to happen. So Abdullah, take it light, brother. I don't want to keep you up too late. I know it's late over there, so take it light, my man. That's not a ridiculous statement considering I don't have the Blazers making the playoffs this year. I don't. So if the Blazers don't make the playoffs, they have to start moving in a different direction. They have to. So sounds like you answered your own question, Dave. That's what it sounded like to me. You think Zion will be the scoring champ? I don't give D Rose harsh criticism more than most. I just don't think that he's an all-time great. Derrick Rose is a what if. And you guys talk about him like he's an all-time great, and he's not. Derrick Rose is a what if. Even though he did manage to play after he tore up his knee in 2012, he's still in the league. That was 10 years ago. He's still in the league, but he's not an all-time great. He's a what if. The thing about Zion is I'm really concerned with his health. And this broken foot thing, just so y'all know, I've had this injury. It's not that serious. It is not. The fifth metatarsal bone, it's right on, if this is your foot, it's right here on the outside of your foot, and he cracked it. It's a 2-month injury. He got it handled in the summer, over the summertime. So he should, at minimum, he should be running now. He absolutely should be running. Jordan or LeBron, and well, what did I say? If why are you asking me Jordan or LeBron if I already answered your question? No problem, my man. That's not unrealistic to think that the Lakers could win it. That's not. I think that their championship hopes rests on Anthony Davis. He is the difference in whether or not they're going to win it or lose it. Or do you think there is a player that would have had a better career if he was on a different team? Yeah, Tracy McGrady. Yeah. In addition to Tracy McGrady being beat up, those Orlando teams was whack. Super whack. I think him leaving Vince was a mistake. I do feel like that. I think him leaving Vince was a mistake. How good they would have been had he stayed with Vince. Running good, Cameron. How you doing, brother? This is Lemonade. Luca has to do something incredible in order to. This is the thing that really, it doesn't irritate me. It doesn't bother me. It's very puzzling to me how you guys talk about these young guys who've just gotten here. I mean, Luca is going into year 4. We talking about him with all-time great potential. I mean, Luca's 22. Magic was a 2-time finals MVP at 22. James had his team in the NBA Finals at 22. So when we talk about all-time greats, I mean, Jabbar was a Finals MVP at age 22. So, I mean, that's real difficult for me to. It's puzzling for me. I will say that. I don't think Blake wasted any of his talent. I don't think he wasted any of his potential. I think he got his potential. We're talking about a dude who was a 5-time All-NBA performer. He started breaking down. He didn't waste any of it. No way. He didn't waste any of it. Tim Hardaway, a Penny. Well, if Penny would have stayed healthy, him losing Shaq was huge. Penny. Let's see here. I get a lot of heat for the take that I have on Brooklyn. I'm not sold that Brooklyn going to the finals. I'm not. Everybody's sold that Brooklyn's going. I'm not sold on Brooklyn going to the finals. I know who James Harden is. I know who Kevin Durant is. And I know who Kyrie Irving is. I love what they've done with that unit. We have glaring problems, though. Who is your primary rebounder? Who is your rim protector? Who on the perimeter is locking ass? Who's doing those things? Because over the years, what we found out with NBA champions, there's a number of different things that are absolutely necessary in order for you to win it. One of the things that you have to have in order to be an NBA champion, where's your buckets? Okay, we got that. In Kevin Durant, we got that in James Harden, right? We need an elite perimeter defender. We got that too. The Warriors had it in Draymond. They had it in Clay. Cleveland had it in James. And they had it in Dwayne Wade. Toronto had it in Leonard. And they had it in Kyle Lowry. Who's locking ass on that perimeter? Milwaukee had it in Drew Holiday. Who has it? Who is doing that? Who is the person in the huddle in Brooklyn going, KD, can you score the rest of the points? Don't worry about 32. I'll deal with him. Who doing that? Who's in the huddle doing that? Who's asking James Harden, can you score the rest of the points? I'll deal with 24. Who's doing that? So I'm not sold on who Brooklyn is. Millsap may be doing that. Only except Millsap, we going in, what year are we in with Millsap now? Should Luca be added to the top 75 players of all time like Shaq was added to the top 50 early in his career? It wasn't too early for him. In 1997, Shaq was in year 5. I think it's too early for Luca. He's going into year 4. He's only got 3 years of work. That's all. And Shaq in 1997, I think it was undisputed that, well, he was arguably the best big man in the game. Somebody getting fired. Get him out. Super Marlo Hoops. Somebody getting fired. Get him out of here. If you put Luca on the top 75 after 3 years of work, somebody is out. Well, not only was he robbed of top 50, Super Mario Hoops, not only was he robbed of top 50, you know Dominique Wilkins wasn't the first ballot Hall of Famer? You know, when Dominique Wilkins retired, only 7 guys in the history of the game scored more points than him. 7. Can you believe that? And that's not worthy of being a first ballot Hall. I'm not even talking about the all NBA performances. I'm not talking about the all-star performances or the dunk contest. 7 guys in the history of the game scored more points than him. 7. Would you haven't answered it why the Baseball Hall of Fame is so messed up? Sorry. That's not an impossible question, Cash. I have no respect for the Baseball Hall of Fame. None. And the reason why I have no respect for the Baseball Hall of Fame is because the best players who ever played ain't in it. Can you imagine an all-time leading rebounder in NBA history not being in the Hall of Fame? Imagine an all-time leading rusher in pro football history not being in the Hall of Fame. Well, Pete Rose, he broke the ultimate rule of gambling. Well, first of all, he never gambled while he was a player. That never happened. So we'll start. We could start and stop the conversation right there. There's no evidence, or let's just say for the sake of argument, there is evidence that Barry Bonds was on the juice. Wasn't no mandate that he couldn't do it. There was no rule to say that he could not do that. Now, morally, was it wrong? Okay, let's just say for the sake of argument that morally it was wrong. It still wasn't wrong according to the books. It still wasn't wrong according to the books. So, I think I skipped some. That foreign substance, that's illegal. Yeah. When did it become illegal, Tristan? That's my question. Jillian really hopes that Philly fixes this Ben situation. I'll tell you what, Jillian, and I'm not on the fence about this. I'm not thinking maybe, I'm not thinking possibly. I am 100% sure. Let's just say when Ben Simmons comes back, he's on a rampage and he's in a rage and he goes, I don't appreciate the way y'all treated me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out on everybody in the NBA. And he comes back and he cuts ass, right? Excuse my language, but he comes back and he fries ass. Philadelphia ends up as the number one seed in the Eastern Conference, and he plays great, and they in the Eastern Conference Championship. Do you think that F Ben Simmons and trade Ben Simmons, do you think that will still be going on? I think that they would forget about that. And what I do think is I think they would be saying, next year we win in the NBA championship. Ben, you got to stay. We win in the NBA championship next year. So it wasn't illegal that Barry Bonds was on the juice. It wasn't illegal when he was doing it. Even there's no evidence that he was doing it, but it wasn't illegal when he was doing it. Yeah, they are. What's up, True? How you doing, brother? People are discussing. Let's see here. I don't know about Harvey, but I thought he was going. I thought Baez was going to be a lot better. He was one of the best hitters in Cleveland when he was there. I thought he was going to be a lot better with us. Mm-hmm. And it was absolutely warranted, Jillian. They should have retired his jersey. He the best football player they ever had there, ever. Steph Curry is better than Tim Duncan. Oh my God. Of course you agree with it. Why is Tim Duncan? Why is hang on for a second, guys. Why is Steph Curry better than Tim Duncan? I'm listening to this. This should be really good. I'm listening. I'm all ears. I'm not listening to nobody else right now. You have the floor, sir. Why is Steph Curry better than Tim Duncan? I'm all ears. Okay, keep going. I didn't say KD was better than Kawhi. No, I did not. I said KD was a better scorer than Kawhi. I think Kawhi is a better overall player than KD. But keep going. I'm listening. Keep going. So scoring is key. And I'm phrasing the question to you. If you were GM and Curry and Tim Duncan is on the market, who 8 you picking with the first pick? If scoring is the key, so you're essentially going off. So what I've seen from Curry is being able to score the ball is so hard to stop. So you're going off the idea. I'm sorry, keep going. And Tim Duncan, he just needed to play his role to win. So never had to exceed greatness. So Tim Duncan never had to go beyond what he was already doing in order to be great. All he had to do was just play his role in order to be great. And Curry had to go beyond what he was doing to be great. Let me make sure that I'm understanding that correctly. Nah, King, hold on. We ain't talking about 1999. Nah. Mm-mm. Greatness and being great is different, but your words. I never said that. Greatness and being great. Where you get that from? When did I say that? Greatness and being great. I don't ever remember hearing me say something like that. But that's neither here nor there. So Tim needed to average just 20 and 11 to win. Curry needed to drop 40 every night. Actually, he didn't need to drop 40 every night because he didn't drop 40 every night. So that's not true. And on top of that, Tim Duncan averaged more than 20 and 10 or 20 and 11 plenty of times. How about the year he won the league MVP when he was 26 and 13? How about that year? And I won't go into the rest of the stuff that he did, whether he was in the playoffs, but that's something completely different. What I would like to discuss is Tim not having to be great. All he had to do was play his role. And with his role, it never exceeded greatness. You ever think that Steph Curry, his role changed when Steve Kerr got there? And he never really exceeded greatness neither. In fact, maybe he was just a product of that system and how they played, which made him look great. Is that unrealistic or no? Is that not something that is realistic, or that him or Steph Curry doing what he did? Could he have done that anywhere? Could he have done that in Minnesota? Could he have done that in New York? Oh, I'm picking Tim Duncan. I'm not picking Steph Curry. And here's why I'm not picking Steph Curry. What I'd like for you to understand, which you completely left out, how long has Steph Curry been in the league? If you don't mind me asking, I'm going to let you answer that question. How long has Steph Curry been in the league? Go. Let's get off the championships for a second. Let's stop that. How long has Steph Curry been in the league? I think he came in 2009, right? So I think he came in 2009. So we're going into year 13. So he's been in the league for 12 years. So as of right now, he's been in the league for 12 years. You know, Steph Curry didn't make the All-NBA team until year 5. So that's almost half his career where he wasn't an elite player. Almost half of his career where he wasn't an elite player. You know, Tim Duncan was first team All-NBA as a rookie. From day one, Tim Duncan was that dude. Absolutely. And for you to say that he didn't have to exceed greatness, do you think that he had to just be So are you telling me that he just had to be 20 and 11 to get past Shaq and Kobe? That was it? That's all it took to get past Shaq and Kobe? He just had to be 20 and 11 to get past the Nets? That was it? That's all it took? Am I taking Tim's peak over Curry's peak? Yes, I am. And the reason why I am, and here's why I'm doing that. This is what I have such a difficult time with, is because you guys only talk about one side of the you again. Here we go again. You guys are just looking at the pretty face. You guys are just looking at the girl who's got the nice ass, and you're not checking her credit. You ain't seeing the kind of girls that she hang around with, what kind of job she has. Nope, she's got a beautiful face. That ball handling is nice. She's got a nice ass, that long ball that he's shooting. That's all you're looking at. You're not taking into consideration all the other things. Like, for example, how about the fact that Tim Duncan from the 1998 season, 98-99 to the 2008 season, that's 9 straight years. Tim Duncan finished in the top 10 in Defensive Player of the Year, including 6 times finishing in the top 5. That means I'm elite on both sides of the basketball for longer than a decade. For half the decade, for an entire decade. Now, I can appreciate that the game has changed. Oh, absolutely. The game has absolutely changed. You got guys shooting the long ball now. That's where the game is. The game is 18 feet and out. It's not 17 feet and in. No, it's not like that anymore. No. However, Tim Duncan was way more impactful than Steph Curry on both sides of the basketball. I got Olajuwon right behind Tim Duncan on my all-time great list. Yes, sir, I am 2,900. Yes, I am. Did Tim Duncan ever miss the playoffs? Not one time. You can, and of course you dead in that both sides thing, because again, this is the era that you live in, and this is all you care about. And I come from a different era. I come from the era where you had to play on both sides of the ball in order to be elite. Now, Magic was an elite point guard, and he was an elite player. And Magic did play defense. Absolutely, he did. But the majority of the guys who played were elite. They played on both sides of the ball. You had to play defense. We live now in the freedom of movement era, where you can't really put hands on guys. And you got to be smarter today to be a defender. So, let me see that again, OG. Could Lamar Jackson be another Hall of Fame quarterback with his style of play, or will injuries plague him? Well, we're going to find out, my man. We're going to see how long he can hold up. We're going to see how long he can hold up with this style of play, because eventually he's going to slow down. And I hope that it's sooner better than later that he implements his ability to throw the football, because Lamar Jackson is an elite thrower. He can throw the football. He just needs to trust that more. But he just hasn't shown it. He's got in the what, 4 years he's been in the game? He's got 1 400-yard game and 3 300-yard games. That's it. That's it. So that's not true, Michael. That is not true. That is nonsense. That is nonsense that you would say that about me. Because both sides of the ball, stats, accolades only matter. That's not true. That is not true. Because it matters at any point. I understand what today's game is. And I understand who plays today and how the game is played. But playing on both sides of the ball has always mattered to me. Which is why I think Kawhi Leonard is a better player than Kevin Durant. Because he plays on both sides of the basketball. Kevin Durant is a better scorer than Kawhi Leonard, but I think Leonard is a better player than him. So don't say that about me, because that's not true. So you see, I to be honest with you, I'm having a difficult time keeping that MVP. It's two guys. It's Lamar Jackson and nobody really wants to talk about it. Trayvon Diggs. I think Trayvon Diggs has a legit argument for league MVP. Absolutely, I do. You take him off that Dallas unit, what he does for them in terms of getting the ball back to the offense and in the position that he gets it back to him in, 100 yards. He's got the most yards in the game on interception returns. That's a big deal, man. That's a huge deal. Field position, absolutely. Absolutely. He's mine too. Justin Herbert absolutely is mine too. Absolutely, he is. True. I'm done with you talking to me about these guys who all they do is shoot because all you care about is scoring. You don't ever want to talk to me about the game. When you talk to me, all you talk to me about is trying to debunk me. You never talk to me. You never educate me on the game. That's all you talk about. Well, you said this guy's better. Well, you said, because what you sound like is you sound like a 16-year-old that's never actually talking to me about the game. And not what you think about the game, educating me on the game and having a conversation. All you're ever trying to do is trip me up, which you fail at miserably. But that's not the point. The point is that every time I talk to you, you never talk to me about the game. The first thing that you say, yo, I got a good argument for you. Yo, I got this. No, it's never that. It's never, OG. Yo, I think this dude is nice, and here's why I think he's nice. It's always you trying to trip me up, which you lose at every time. So stop it already. Can we just please have a conversation about basketball? Because you're not going to trip me up. You're not. So dead it. You also got to take into consider, Ibra, what Duncan brought to San Antonio. I mean, there's a reason why they had the number one pick. You know, Sean Elliott he missed almost the entire season. Avery Johnson got hurt that year. They were basically left with David Robinson and a bunch of cast off. That's how they ended up with the number one pick. That's how they ended up with the number one pick, which worked out for them. And it was obvious that Duncan was better than David Robinson, who I love, by the way. But it was obvious that he was better than him because he brought a different dynamic to what they were doing, which would explain why they won the way they did. I don't think it was 2,900. I don't think it's what Curry brought to the Warriors more than what that system brought to the Warriors. And they saw the future of basketball in Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. Draymond's our dirty work guy. Draymond's going to be our facilitator. Draymond's going to do everything else that Steph and Klay don't do. Excuse me. And I think that was the difference. I think that was the difference when they were building that unit. And had Harrison Barnes in the 2016 NBA Finals, had he been able to knock down some shots, they wouldn't have moved off on him. But they had to, simply because Kevin Durant was better. So they had to. Absolutely. Three more goals. Think about how nuts that is. They only scored 3 more goals, but won the league because we ain't scoring that much. But not only are we not scoring that much, you ain't scoring neither. I mean, that's a big deal, yo. Because what I can't do is I can't be that boxer who I think I can hit you more than I could stop you from hitting me. I can't do that. What's up, Tristan? What you got, my man? Who do you think? Who do you got winning the MVP for the MLB? I don't think he's winning it anymore. Well, I actually had I had Otani. I had him winning the Cy Young and the AL MVP before he got hurt, before they shut him down. I actually had him winning it because of what he was doing. So I can't really tell you right now who is the winner. I'm interested to hear your take on that one. Who do you got? You think you still got Otani winning it? Because I had him winning. I had him winning the American League MVP, and I had him winning the Cy Young before he got hurt. John, see, that stuff matters, man. That stuff right there, what you just said. Why do you think that? That's me right there. Why do you think that? And it can't just be because I do. No, that's not good enough, man. No, that's the same thing as saying because I think so, or because I can, or because I said so. No. Mm-mm. The most impressive individual performance I've ever seen from a basketball player. I've seen a bunch of them, man. It's really difficult to pick one. I told you about, I was in the building when Kobe put 48 and 16 on Sacramento in 01 in the West Semis. I was there for that. The performance that Shaq put on in the finals in 2001 against Mutombo, how he just ate that dude lunch. I was loving every minute of that. James, what he did in that 2016 finals, that was incredible. Jordan in the 1992 NBA finals. What makes Malone better than KG? Consistency. That's the difference. Consistency. He was that dude. This is what you're getting from him. Duncan's 03 finals was awesome. What did he have? 20, 20, and 12 or something like that in that game 6? Something like that? No, I'm not only talking about buckets. I am not. No, I am not only talking about buckets. Brian went 48 and 16. I'm not leaving out the 16 boards that he had in that game. Yeah, I don't. To be honest with you, Finns fan, I don't pay much attention to that. I don't, because the reason why I don't pay much attention to that is because those are the people who don't pay. They don't study the game. They don't. I mean, Malone was 27 and 11 for 12 straight years, and nobody talks about that. He was 27 and 11. What's the logic on a guy that's running around today since, what are we in, 2021? Since 2009, this dude is 27 and 11. How are we talking about him? It's looking like that, crazy. It absolutely is looking like that. What was a better game? LeBron game 5 versus the Pistons, or game 6 versus the Celtics? Game 6 versus the Celtics. Because game 6 versus the Celtics was way more impactful. Why do guys like Kobe? Wait a minute, say that again? I think I missed that. I don't have to explain that because I don't think that. You think that. So you explain why they look better. I don't think that. Bill Walton's finals in 8. Which one, Ibra? In 77 or in 86? Because the one in 86 was pretty awesome. I just want to make sure which one you're talking about. You talking about the one in 77 or the one in 86? Vic, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Come on in. I don't do that whole. What does that even mean? Killer mentality. Like James didn't have a killer mentality. Oh boy, here we go. Why is this guy here? I for real need some moderators because I gotta start weeding these other people out, man. I do. But I got to be careful on who, because I had a moderator once who completely he screwed up my stream. He completely wrecked it. And I had to. Turns out he was a troll, and I had to shut the whole thing down. So I got to be really careful about who I have as a moderator because some of these people that come in here, it's just dumb. I don't understand. And I do my best to stay engaged with you guys, but I do have a difficult time with these guys. I just do. I have a really difficult time with these guys. Candace, I have no idea what that means. What does that even mean? Killer mentality. And I can understand why, John, because when I hear people say things like when I hear people say stuff to me that I'm not 100% clear on, I genuinely want to know, why do you think that? What makes Kobe Bryant a better player than LeBron James? Why do you think that? What makes Why doesn't Tim Duncan get the credit that he deserves? What makes you think that he's not as good as advertised? Why don't you think Giannis has any skills? What makes you think that Giannis isn't skilled? I genuinely, when I hear these questions, when I hear these statements, I genuinely want to know why you think that. I think he's a bigger, smaller forward. That's why I think Giannis is a bigger. He's a bigger, because I've said this in the past to you. Giannis is a bigger version. He looks to me like a bigger, stronger, more athletic version of Doc. That's who he looked like to me. That's exactly who he looks like to me. A bigger, stronger, more, and I can't believe I'm saying more athletic because Doc could dunk from the free throw line, which is nuts. But that's who he looks like to me. A bigger, stronger, more athletic version of Doc. That's who he looked like to me. So the Aaron Fox. And I love Jim. I love John Moran. I think he's pretty awesome. I do. I do too. The difference between back then and now was more help D due to bad spacing, which causes a misconception of a physical error. That's why that picture of three guys on MJ. Now it's an open lane. I do too, Ibra. Mm-hmm. I do think that the Knicks have a great season this year. Yes, I do. Mm-hmm. I do. I think that they're in the playing tournament. I got them right behind Atlanta at 7 because the Eastern Conference has gotten so much better, man. With Brooklyn, Philly, Milwaukee. Even though I got Milwaukee at the top, Brooklyn, Philly, Milwaukee, Miami, Boston, Atlanta, uh, Knicks, Chicago. I think the Eastern Conference is going to be a nightmare this year. No doubt about it. Yeah, I can get with that, John. Absolutely, I can get with that. That would be tough, Dave, because Dwight Howard, being the kind of player that he is, he would actually demand the basketball, and he might screw up the continuity of what's going on. Absolutely, he would. And I don't know about the. I think that he'd average more than 11 boards, no doubt about that. I don't know if he's the most underrated guard in the league, Derek De'Aaron Fox, but the problem that we have is he in Sacramento, and Sacramento is whack. That's the problem. Sacramento is whack, and nobody really pays attention to what's going on in Sacramento. So they completely forget the 25-7 that he's doing up there because nobody cares. Because it's very similar to what Kevin Love was doing in Minnesota. Nobody cared because it was Minnesota and they sucked. Nobody cared. Mark, I don't know if they're making the finals, but I will tell you this: I love Thibault, and I do think he already made the All League defensive team this year. I think he's even better this season, and I think he gives them way more than he did last year. Way more if he was playing more minutes. There isn't anybody that I look at in the NBA that I'm thinking I'm good. I'm turning the TV off. That this player completely turns me off, and I'm straight on him. I'm not a big Luca fan, though. I will tell you that. I'm interested to see how that Scotty Barnes OG Anobly thing works because I was still trying to make sense of how that's going to work and why they made that pick. So we're gonna see. I love Lou Dort. I don't like Lou Dort. I love Lou Dort. Absolutely, I'm loving him. Loving him. Who is my rookie of the year? Who would I have for rookie of the year? Hold on, let me go check my notes real quick. I forgot who I had for rookie of the year. I'll tell you right now. Oh, I had Evan Mobley as rookie of the year. Yes, I did. Seattle absolutely deserves a team. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Of course, I'm crazy. Yep, I'm absolutely nuts. I don't know what I'm talking about. What's up, original? I didn't watch his. I didn't watch the game. And how did it go? It's not that I don't like Luca. I'm not blown away by him. That's more of what it is. And I think a lot of that has to do with people shoving him down my throat. I mean, it's not that I don't like his game. It's just that people shoving him down my throat, like, "Yo, check this dude out. He's super nice." Like, well, wait a minute. I see the step back, and I dig how much space he creates on his one-on-one package. And we talking about a guy who goes from here to here when he's creating space and his ability to finish at the rim. So I do like Luka's game. I'm not crazy about it, but the fact that people shoving him in my face, I think that's where I'm having a difficult time. Who did Golden State play last night? I'm I'm sorry, but I don't really pay much attention. I start watching, like, I watched Miami and Boston last night, and I watched Miami pull away from Boston. I start watching I start watching the preseason like around this time when we get to the last game or two. I start watching, and the reason why I start watching is because early on, the guys who are playing are guys trying to crack the rotation or guys trying to make the squad. When you get later in the preseason, like now, where it's the last 2 games before the season starts, then you get your starters in, and you're you're ramping up their minutes because we got to get these guys acclimated to the speed of the game. So I don't really pay much attention to the preseason early, and like I said, I'd like to get more involved in what they're doing now. Well, they already made a deep run with Jamal Murray. Didn't they go to the West Finals? So we already know that they can do that because they did it. We already know that. That's not news. And I'm gonna in the next post that I have on YouTube, I'm gonna talk more about Toronto because I was trying to understand why everybody was so big on Toronto and why I got so many inquiries about the Toronto Raptors. Like, damn, I get a lot of people talking to me about, talk about the Toronto Raptors, and it made sense because I understand who the Raptors are and who they represent. They represent an entire country. Like the Bulls just represent Chicago. You got some people in Milwaukee who are Bulls fans. You might have some people in Ohio, but for the most part, the Bulls represent Chicago in the state of Illinois. Toronto represents the entire country. So I'm going to talk about that in my next. I'm definitely going to talk about that more. So, no, I already know who. I'm not on the fence about who OG Anunoby is. I already know who he is. I already know who he is, man. I do. I absolutely know who he is, and I'm definitely going to be paying attention to Toronto this season. You mean win the NBA championship, Taylor, with Jamal Murray? Well, the word is I don't think they're getting him back until mid-season. So, Jamal Murray would have I think he would have made a difference last year, but I don't know how much of a difference. I mean, they got swept. I mean, if you add Jamal Murray into that mix, right? If you add Jamal Murray into that mix, I mean, how much of a difference does he make? How much of a difference does he make? So, they straight mopped them. Hoops. They didn't beat them, but they mopped them dudes right out the playoffs. Bye. I don't know who rules the post LeBron era. That's a good question. I think that Zion has an opportunity to do that. I think Giannis is at the top of that list. I don't think KD's going to be around much longer. I don't think Leonard's going to be around much longer neither. I think Jason Tatum's going to be in that conversation. I think Luca is going to be in that conversation. Do you think Utah beats Phoenix in the West Finals if they beat the Clippers? I had the Clippers Jazz winning the Western Conference. I had that. That's why I had winning the Western Conference. And the reason why the Clippers didn't win it was because Leonard got hurt. Had Leonard not gotten hurt, I think that they would have been in the NBA Finals. No, I didn't know that. That doesn't surprise me. Denver got a lot of talent too. Denver doesn't. People just look at Joker and they just see MPJ. I'm sorry. Denver got a lot of talent, B. A lot. No doubt about that. And they got to get some more guys. They got to get some more of their guys in that rotation. Like, I think Bo's going to be in that rotation this year. And I think he's going to help them. Do you think if it's legal, it can still be ethical? Like, if what's legal? I don't understand the question. It can be still ethical, like cheating, popping for roids when it's not illegal. If there's no rule to say you can't do it, then why can't you do it? I've never understood that logic. If there's no rule to say that I can't do it, why are you not doing it? This season right here, crazy. I think this is his last season of being a top. I mean, we're talking about James. James will be 37 at the end of the season. I don't see James as. I still think that James has some really great years left in him, but to be a top 1, 2, 3 player, I think this is his last season at that level. I didn't have a problem with it, and the reason why I didn't have a problem with it, I'm not one of these guys. This is what I need you to understand, Tristan. I want you to understand where he was coming from, and it it made sense to me, even though I'm totally against it. I'm 22 years old. I've been in the minor leagues for the last 5 years, and you got 6 or 7 guys who I know that I'm better than. They're already in the bigs. Jeff just signed a 5-year deal for $75 million. Tom signed a 6-year deal for $80 million. My boy Sean just signed a 6-year deal for $75 million. And all of these guys are on billboards and they're doing all of this stuff. Meanwhile, I'm still riding the bus. I'm in the minor leagues. And somebody comes to me and they tell me, listen, I got a potion for you. I can't tell you that you're going to see 50. But what I am going to do is I can make you a millionaire 50 times over, 60 times over, 70 times over. Your face is going to be on billboards. You're going to be the lead story on Sports Center. You're going to make enough money that your kids' kids are going to be straight. All you got to do is take this potion. I can't say with 100. I'm not saying that I would do it, but I can't say with 100% certainty that I wouldn't have the conversation and that I would say no. Strictly because what was going on. And the guys who I know are that I'm better than, I know I'm better than these guys. And to see them doing what I know I could do, I can't say with 100% certainty that I would say no. So for Barry Bonds to watch Mark McGwire win the World Series, for him to watch Jose Canseco and all of these guys. Meanwhile, Barry Bonds is winning league MVPs. He just ain't winning. And for him to watch these guys do it and be like, damn, I'm better than these dudes. I'm not I know I'm better than these dudes. And I'm not saying that I would have done it because if I'm doing that, then I'm cheating the game. And I'm not interested in doing that. I'm not just cheating the game, I'm cheating myself. The reason why those dudes is doing it is because they ain't better than me. That's why they doing it. But I can't say that I would not have had the conversation. That's where I'm at with it. That's not a bad idea, Brad. That's not a bad idea at all. I'm very thankful, John, that I didn't have to make that choice. I'm very thankful that I did not have to make that choice. I'll tell you what Detroit team doesn't, and that's the Tigers. They don't have the most upside. And the Lions, actually, they do have the most upside because you can't go nowhere but up. You can't suck forever. This thing has to turn around eventually. It has to. She's a foul chick, yo. I don't really know much about her, but yeah, I'm good on I'm good on people like her. No, you can't suck forever, young. You can't. It has to turn around. Max, what's up, brother? How you doing? Mace, what's up, brother? How you running, man? I do think that. That ain't no nonsense. I honestly feel like that with Obi Toppin. I look at him and I feel like he's just showing up. He don't look to me like he work on his game at all. Young, look at Sacramento. Sacramento was in the Western Conference Finals 20 years ago. So they don't suck. They didn't suck forever. They definitely have had a drought. I mean, they had a let's see, from 98 to 2006 where they were legit. And before then, I mean, they had made the playoffs in 97. Then they get Weber. I mean, they did have a 10-year run where they were playing, where they were really good. It's not like Sacramento sucked forever. No, they haven't. They did not. Josh Giddey, ain't that the Australian kid in Oklahoma City? I can get with that logic because after next season, Obi Toppin is going to be one of those guys who, after year 3, he could very well be one of those guys who falls. He could very well be one of those guys who falls into the this is who he is kind of conversation where he's like, 12-6 and he's a transition player and he only works on the things that he's good at. So nah, Tristan, I don't play fantasy football because I don't know nothing. I've never played it because I don't know anything about it. That has a lot to do with why. I think Trey Young could help himself a lot. I think he's a dark horse league MVP this year. Yeah, I think he's going to be in that conversation. Absolutely, I do. Cowboys. Oh no, the cow. Don't get me start. Don't start with the Cowboys. That's his real name. Yeah, Obi Toppin. What's the problem? I think it's going to be tough for Shea to be an All Star this year because I'm looking at what's going to happen with Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City is going to have to be good in order for him to make the All Star team. Mm-hmm. You think the Lakers win it all this year? I also think this year in the NBA, it's going to be somebody that we ain't talking about, because the same thing happened last year. Like if I'm having this conversation with you guys in October of 2020, and I say to you, yo, I got Phoenix representing the Western Conference. Y'all gonna be looking at y'all. I'm pretty confident that I wouldn't see any of you guys here ever again. Not only would I never see you guys here again, I'm pretty confident that you would spread the word. This old head, which I'm having a bugged out time being considered called an old head. I ain't even 50 yet, but I'm called an old head. That's nuts. But there's no way any of y'all would give me the time of day last year if I said Phoenix is in the NBA Finals this year. No way. So it could very well be something like that coming up this season. It doesn't make a difference if there was injuries. We don't do that, yo. Yeah. We do not do that, man. Yeah, we don't care about that. Mm-mm. I don't care about that because of injuries thing. I don't care about that. So yes, it does, Brad. And I don't listen to none of that nonsense about rings don't count. You probably the same one. You think that that 2016 NBA championship that don't count neither, does it? You probably think that. Right? That 2016 NBA championship, that don't count neither, do it. How about the 2013 NBA championship? That don't count neither, huh? How about that 2019 championship with the Warriors in Toronto? That don't count neither, huh? Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, I figured that. So why you stopping there, Brad? Let's we gotta cancel a bunch of NBA. According to your theory, we gotta cancel a bunch of NBA championships. We gotta cancel Isaiah's NBA championship in '89. Magic got hurt. We gotta cancel Jordan's NBA championship in '91. James Worthy and Byron Scott went out the lineup. I don't care that it was Game 5. They still was out the lineup. They got hurt. We don't know if they could have came back or not. We do not know that. We got to cancel a bunch of them. Only a few rings count to you, Brad. They all count to me. I don't do that nonsense. That's nonsense right there. I don't do that. I've never done that, and I never. Oh, the Warriors 2015, that don't count neither, because Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love got hurt. That doesn't count. Nope, take that off the board too. Mm-hmm. Let's take the Warriors 2017 on. Let's take their 2018 championship off the board too, because Irv got traded. He wasn't there no more. So let's take that off the board too. That don't count. Mm-hmm. Take the Lakers 88 championship off the board too. Let's get rid of that, because Isaiah got hurt. He got hurt in Game 6. So let's take that off the board. Mm-hmm. Oh, let's also and we also left this out because nobody exactly said it. Nobody said it. Let's take Magic winning the NBA Finals in '79 and '80. Him winning the Finals MVP. Let's take that off the board because Jabbar got hurt. That don't count neither. So Magic only got, let's see, 1, 2, 3. He got 3 Finals. No, he only got 2 because that one in '79 Magic got hurt. So let's take that off the board too. That can go. For the people that are still here, how ridiculous do I sound? How ridiculous do I sound saying that? I'm asking you, for the people in the cheap seats, how ridiculous do I sound saying that? Is there any others that I've forgotten? Let me see. Oh, the Pistons. I forgot them. The 2004 Pistons. Take them off the board. Because Malone got hurt and he missed like 30 games or 40 games because he screwed up his knee. So that 2004 Pistons team, take that off the board too. So I don't just sound ridiculous, Tom. I sound very ridiculous. And you are not on the fence about that. You are absolutely correct. Absolutely. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. They was trying to get better picks. That's why it's called tanking, my man. That's why they shut them dudes down, because they was tanking. They was trying to get better picks. If Kevin Porter Jr. could keep his head on straight, I think that he's going to be one of the better players in the game one day. If he could keep his head on straight, he's a really good talent. He's a really good talent. I think he could be a solid player in the NBA for a long time if he could keep his head on straight. That's not your opinion. That's a fact, Hoops. No, I do not. The reason why, Eli, is because we don't get an opportunity to win it. Getting an opportunity to win the NBA championship, the Super Bowl, the World Series, the NHL championship, that does not come around a lot. So when I get an opportunity to win it, I'm here on my own merit. And to get cheated, man, it's a difference between losing and getting cheated. Nah, yo. No way. 45, what's up, brother? No way. Because ain't no guarantee we coming back here next year. This might be my only shot at ever winning the championship, whether it's in pro baseball, basketball, hockey, football. Doesn't make a difference. This might be my only opportunity to ever win it. And the fact that I got cheated, you can't tell me nothing, B. No, I'm good. Nope. Do not come to me with, yo, I'm sorry, and I'm not listening to that. Because so much work goes into getting there. And to get there and get cheated, nah, yo. I do too. I mean, John Wall, he was, before he got hurt last year, he was 20-8. Before he got hurt, he was 20-8. I am a boxing fan, Thomas. I haven't watched much. After Lennox Lewis was my guy. I'm a heavyweight guy, and Lennox Lewis was my guy. And when Lennox retired, I kind of stepped off of boxing. I didn't really watch much. You know, I caught Pacquiao, I caught Floyd Mayweather, Triple G. I would peek my head in with those guys, but I didn't study it as much as I did when Lennox was fighting. And because when Klitschko came in, I thought Klitschko was whack. The reason why he had the belt was because Lennox retired. It wasn't because he beat Lennox. Lennox busted him up. So well, crazy. The thing I'm concerned with is he's not going to come back until they're not going to have him back until January. Yeah, they're looking at January before they can get Clay back. So we're talking almost half the season before he comes back. And how much can Steph and Dre keep them ahead, keep their heads afloat? Steph and Dre and Wiseman. I think Wiseman's going to be a lot better. I absolutely believe that. Jordan Poole looked really good in the preseason, and that's because, you know, early on, the guys, he was playing against a lot of rotation guys. He was playing against a lot of guys trying to make the roster. I'm interested to see what happens with him when the season actually starts. But if Clay can come back, this year is the year to prove that I can hold up. That's what this year is for Clay. And then I think next season, the 21-22 season, I'm sorry, not the 22-23 season is going to be the season where he gets back to form. Sure looks like it, Blaine. Sure looks like it, Birch. Sure looks like Giannis got a consistent J. Sure looks like it, man. I'll tell you. And if that's the case, and you might be a little late because I touched on this early on when we first got started. If that's the case, you dudes can forget it. You're gonna have no shot against him. None. No, I don't think it's gonna. I wouldn't say it's that bad, but I think that this year for Clay is going to be a transition year because we're talking about a dude who hasn't played in 2 years. He hasn't played in 2 seasons, and not only has he not played in 2 seasons, they talking about not getting him back till January. So we're talking 2.5 years he's been away from the game. I'm on board with that, King. I am. I'm on board with that. I wouldn't be, and I'm going to take it a step further than that. I wouldn't be surprised if he led the league in scoring this year, especially with that new look jump shot. I would not be surprised if he led the league in scoring with that. I could see Giannis at 32, 13, and 2 blocks. I could see that. And if Milwaukee is in first place in the Eastern Conference, there's no way you guys can. There's no way you voters can keep the MVP trophy out of his hands. There's no way you could do it. You could try, but there's no way you could do it. James would have to do something. Anthony Davis would have to do something where the Lakers are, 75-5, and Anthony Davis is 20. He's leading the Lakers in scoring, rebounding, and blocks. That's the only way that happens. I do think that the NBA championship goes through Milwaukee. Absolutely. Until you put them out, they the champs to me. He did take that L to Oliver McCall. And then what happened when he saw Oliver McCall again? What happened when he saw Oliver McCall again? I don't know what that was. Maybe you can explain that to me. Because I've never seen anything like that in all of my days. Have you seen anything like that, Dre? What was going on there? We got a battle MC in our we have a battle MC in our live stream. King, you think you know more basketball than anybody in here? Are you sure about that? Are you 100% certain about that? Are you sure? There is nobody in here that knows more basketball than you. That's interesting. Who's the team to beat in the AFC? I think it's I'll keep saying San Diego. I'm sorry. I think it's Los Angeles, man. I honestly think it's the Chargers. I think that they're the team to beat in the AFC. Everybody's high on Buffalo, and I'm high on Buffalo too. But I was about to say San Diego. I honestly think it's Los Angeles. Dre, that's exactly what it was. What's up, BZ? How you doing, brother? That's exactly what it was. Prove it then, King. Prove it. How about that? Prove it. You know more basketball than anybody in here. I can't stand guys who come to the court and think that they're the best player out there and get their lunch eaten. That's what happens to those guys. Those are the guys who come to the court and they ain't nobody out here better than me. And that's the same dude getting dunked on. That's the same dude that's getting smoked. You think you the best in here? Prove it. Prove it. Hmm. I do. I do, Hoops. I think it does, because if James Harden could win the NBA championship and be an integral part of what they're doing, if he could be an integral part, because now he could get that monkey off his back that he couldn't win. He could absolutely do that. So no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And I think that this would elevate his status if he could win it. Because what's the knock on James Harden? That he slows down in the playoffs. That it doesn't work when the playoffs start, especially when he goes deeper in the playoffs. And for him to go to the NBA Finals and perform at a high level, that would be big for his legacy. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would give it would do more for his legacy. No doubt about that. It would absolutely do more for his legacy. My sleeper MVP pick is Trae Young. I think that he's my dark horse. No doubt. We don't know, Elijah. I don't know yet. I would have liked for Jimmy G to have been able to hold up. I would have definitely liked for Jimmy G to have been able to hold up, and for Trae to sit behind him and learn the game. But him throwing him out there and having him learn the ropes. So now, because he already hurt, he's got a sprained knee. So we don't know how long he's going to be out. Right? I don't know how long he's going to be out. So is he injury prone? We don't know. We have no idea where he at. We have no idea if he's injury prone. That's why I would have liked to seen him sit behind Jimmy G and just learn the offense. You know, we forget, you know, Pat Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith for a season. That did happen. That absolutely happened. Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre for 4 years. That absolutely happened. BZ, I don't have a Twitch. That Twitch is that's OG the Beast. That's his. I'm on TikTok and I'm here. This is where I'm at. And I was told very clearly, OG, stay away from Twitter. Stay away from those toxic NBA fans at Twitter. So I don't bother with Twitter and I don't bother with Instagram. So I would love for Embiid to stay healthy because he would have won it last year. He was 30-11 before he got hurt and he missed a month. That's why Joker won it. That's why he won it. What do you want to debate about, King? What would you like to debate basketball about? Face to face, because you clearly know more basketball than I do. So what would you like to debate about? What topics would you like to debate about? I'm listening. Do you think no? What's the worst MVP? I don't know what you mean, crazy. So I'm clear. I don't care neither. You the one coming in here talking about you know more basketball than anybody in here. Prove it. I'm not. Am I in here saying that I know more basketball than all of you guys? Is that what I'm saying? Did I ever say that to any of you guys? You coming into my live stream saying that you know more basketball than anybody in here. Get your ass out of here. Matter of fact, beat it, jerk off. I'm sorry I'm cussing, but get this dude out of here. Bye. Beat it. I'm sorry. That's enough of that. I don't have time for that nonsense. I just don't. If you want to challenge me, challenge me. But don't come in here and challenge me, tell them like, okay, you go first. No, you don't challenge somebody to a fight and then tell them to swing first. No, you bring it. All right, guys, it's about that time. What's today? Sunday? Saturday. I'm sorry. Saturday? Yeah. We'll do it again soon. We'll definitely do it. We'll definitely do this again soon. You know where to find me at? I'm on here. I'm on TikTok. And this is where you can find me at, man. Until then, take it light, guys, but take it.